I'm really, really sorry, Nikki. I'm really, really, really sorry. I didn't realise that it was... I'm sorry.
Why are you laughing? It's not a funny situation. You're
There's
supposed to be
not even any
apologising.
I'm not. There's not any...
Aye, that worked.
What's happening YouTube? It did work. That's fine. Anyway, stop laughing. It's no funny that her dog shouted your cat. Oh well. Welcome back, everybody. We decided since it was such a momentous occasion, not only is it my 40th birthday, Hearts are top of the league. We've won at Ibrox in the top flight since the first since 2012. First time in the league since 2014. Finally, broke our Rangers hoodoo. We thought we might as well go live and bask in the glory. Courgette, the fuck out my club. All the abuse that Russell Martin's been getting has been absolutely sensational. So we thought we would two-foot it and join in and make his life even worse because he's a vegan wank like you, Tom.
One of those Terry vegetables.
Terry vegetables, mate. That's the best. That's the best part of the internet. Anyway, what's been happening, Tim?
No much. Just did away. Got lost in London this week because I'm just not very good at being about London. Went there. Obviously celebrated your 40th yesterday. Happiest I've ever seen you, to be honest, which was nice. So happy birthday, mate.
Thanks, mate. It was fun and games. Kev, what's been happening?
Well, I was in London, but I had a week off for work, so a nice bit of chill out time. And then it was my mate's stag do yesterday, so unfortunately missed a wee trip to Ibrox. But other than that, been a fairly quiet week, mate. But all the best to you. Happy birthday.
Thanks, Ando. What's been happening?
Same. Looks like it's a hat trick of all of us being in the same shit city in the south of England. Well, I think we've all been there. And a hat trick of happy birthday. Can't believe you're only 40. Like you've.
I know. Look how good my hair looks, man, for 40.
I know. It's genuinely annoying.
And it's not even one of those Lee Miller hair solution things. That's a proper. that's K-toy grown, homegrown. Like that's outrageous.
I kept asking your dad last night what happened because
see, the thing is, it's absolutely mental given like your what's the word, dietary requirements. Like,
again, you think I'd be
how have you managed to hold this haircut?
It's a walking advert for Diet Coke. That's if anybody wants to take, anybody wants a physique like Corbett, that's what you need to do. You need to eat zero food and just drink Diet Coke religiously, and you'll be absolutely sound. I'm definitely dining out on the birthday because my birthday was on Tuesday, so I'm at one of those wee lassies that's like been ripping the arse out of it for like 5 days or something, or whatever it's come up to like a week.
You get away with that because it's a milestone. If it had just been, I don't know, 42 or something like that, nobody would give a shit and would kick you in for it. But it's fine.
Exactly. And we go through the top presents. Get a birthday message in the match-winning top from yesterday. Thanks to a friend of the podcast, Mr. R, who sorted it for Shanks. And then my favourite present of all is my dad got me a really sentimental present. He got me a replica of the Broken Strongbow sign in Doncaster.
Well done, Bill. Like,
Bill. That was well played. That was well played. That made me laugh. There we go.
Oh, wait a minute. This while we're on the subject, happy birthday, Corby. Are we changing the name based on what Christopher Macbeth is saying?
That'll do. Is that not? If that was due the family fortune, did Corby know they like the trouser press or something like that? Is that not like she used to get the Corby trouser press inside like hotels and that?
Okay, you're absolutely right. It is a town, and the guy who invented the trouser press is probably from that town. I've got no idea. But
well, there we go. It's a rabbit hole I didn't think we were going. But thank you very much. I'm repping some new merch, podcast merch. If anybody wants to buy some, I'm sure it's on our socials somewhere. This one's from a local supplier as well, so turn around for stuff is a lot quicker than the previous one. But the previous ones, we will be coming back. We're probably going to relaunch the Henry Smith range. Plus, we've got a couple of other bits in the works, but they're made to order and they come like from the other side of the world, so they take a hell of a lot longer than this stuff. So, but if you want to jump on our website, I'm sure it's on whatever it's called now. It's called X, Twitter, Free Space, Blue. I don't know what it's called these days, but whatever it is, whatever Tam keeps it, it's
Son, Tam's people.
Tam's MySpace. Buzzing. Right, cool. So obviously we are live on YouTube, so if you get any comments, get involved, jump in. Obviously we'll discuss yesterday's result. It was Rangers 0, Heart of Midlothian 2. Are we now the establishment club? We get 3 very big decisions that went our way. Are we seeing the benefits of Tony Bloom's money? Has he greased the right palms? Are the SFA desperate to have some form of title challenge for Celtic? So they've went where the money is. Who knows? They're all valid questions that need answered. So we'll talk about that. We've now got a 2-week break before the next game, so we'll just talk all things Harps. Sound good, boss?
Perfect.
Class.
Absolutely.
I'll do. Right, well, first, Kev, we got any Gorgie news?
Yeah, so it's been a couple of weeks since we last podied. Unfortunately, not that I want to start off with depressing news, but we mentioned it on the last pod that we hoped that Jimmy Bone got better and fought off whatever it was that unfortunately he was in hospital for. But the news came out, I think just a couple of days after our last pod, that unfortunately he'd lost his fight and passed away just last week. So thoughts go out to family, friends of Jimmy Bone. As I say, I'm of an age and generation that I do remember him playing in Maroon. So from that point of view, yeah, just a bit sad news. Slightly better news though. Frankie Kent. His injury doesn't seem to be as bad as the club first thought. So some scans have shown that it's mainly cartilage damage, and the cartilage damage will require a bit of a surgery on it, but they expect him to be back by the end of next month. So I guess that's slightly better news. The other one is Forrester. He's went back to St Johnstone on the agreement, so he'll be hopefully getting some first team action, and maybe just help him in his progress of being a right back. I know there's a number of people that believe that he was too young. He was thrown into it last year without actually having a great deal of sort of knowledge of playing at right back as such. But I mean, everybody's got their own opinion of Forrester. And the only other one was that Craig Gordon was back for 45 minutes. Don't know what everybody's thoughts are, but I think we all agree that maybe that should be his last 45 minutes. We don't know, given that maybe 42 this year, even older than you, Corbett.
That's true. Were they playing a bounce game?
Played the bounce game against Dunfermline. I think he got 45 minutes, and Shishwallow got the other 45 minutes.
Shishwallow.
Shishwallow? I don't know. Still knows how to actually pronounce his name.
What we're saying? I liked Hart's tweet yesterday after the game, which was quite good. Swallow. That was quite good. I enjoyed that.
I never even got that till now, so that's good.
Oh,
although I'm pretty sure that's not how you say his name, but
I think it's V's or W's in this instance. Swallow. No.
Swallow.
We are so bad at this. It's terrible. Like we are. Remember, this is not a professional podcast, right? We don't work for Hearts TV and get briefed on how to say all the names. We've got to try and make it up like yous. So don't pretend you don't know how to say it either. And everybody that listened in on a dodgy stick yesterday definitely didn't have Laurie Dunsard in the TV commentary. We had that baldy Malteser guy.
To be fair, Kev, though, Craig Gordon got the clean sheet of the two halves.
So I believe I.
So,
but he played the second 45, didn't he?
He did that. You're right.
At that point, I think Dunfermline were absolutely dog shite anyway. So
our dog shit, Kev. I told you, Dunfermline are now officially a team that we hate. Is my audio any better, Randall?
No, not really. It's worse now than it was 2 minutes ago.
It's always good news.
Maybe put it in front of you.
You stop. Use
That's better. Whatever
better
you've done
already.
is just now is better.
Just mute if you're going to move the mic, because that was not nice.
what is it? Well, that's just the joys of being a professional podcast, isn't it? That's what happens.
Thanks. By the way,
Nah, that's fine now.
just for the removal of all doubt, we do not get paid for this, so don't expect a premium service.
Although we do have to, we get paid for doing ads now. Did you redo your ad for Coral since we were upset with mine?
Mate, no. I tried to do it 2 or 3 times this week, but I couldn't stop myself from laughing. So I was like, no, I can't do this. I'm gonna have to get someone else to do it. I genuinely can't do it because I'll piss myself.
Just a bit like me pissing myself yesterday at full time. It was
Exactly that. Right, same thing.
it was pretty funny games.
Right.
Right. So, any other Hearts news that we want to discuss, or we're just going to dive straight into?
I think the big one, don't want to call you out, Kev, but you missed was Agu's injury.
I didn't know. We already spoke about Jimmy Bone passing away. I didn't want to depress everybody straight away, Tam.
It's all right. We're all on a high after yesterday, to be honest. So
Well, true enough. Maybe we
Are
didn't
we?
need him.
Have we had anything confirmed in terms of timelines or what's actually happening?
No,
it's
there's
3
nothing.
weeks or something, was it?
Yeah, nothing confirmed
Oh.
of any particular
Is it
times.
new in 3 weeks or is it?
That's what I was going to say.
It's a Benny 3 weeks.
All right, okay. Okay.
Craig Gordon strained neck that put him out for 6 months. Whatever you want.
Right, let's get into why everybody's here. When we crossed the M8 yesterday and we never shut our pants. They just sit in silence and bask in the glory of Corbett's been saying this for 5 years. Corbett's been telling you that we need a proper manager who will do proper manager stuff. You only argue amongst yourselves, or are you still in the camp of some random Hearts fans that want to batter McInnes because he's not Robbie the Jobby Nielsen?
I'm not going to lie. See, when that team line came out yesterday and Hearts Standard were reporting that Harry Milne was playing on the right wing, I was like, this is going to be a long day.
The Harry Milne that was by far the best player in the park. So
I'm seeing pre-game. I'm seeing pre-game. Like, why is he not playing left back? Brought in Kingsley that's barely played a game. What is this? And then, no, you're right. The way that they doubled up on their left winger with McEntee and Milne in defence, and then in attack with Brown. So that's why I'm not a Hearts manager, because I wouldn't have had a clue. But there you go.
Oh, wow. That's the only reason. All right. Okay, cool.
Exactly.
Glad you clarified.
What was everybody else's thoughts pre-kickoff?
Trust in the machine. Like, we've been speaking about this for weeks now, right? Which is if continue to do what you've always done, continue to get what you've always got. And the fact that Tam's arse collapsed, and he was sending texts in the group chat or whatever. I actually didn't think it might be a bad thing. It's one of those ones you just relax into it and go, I'm sure Big Dell's got this sound. It'll be fine. Be absolutely fine.
Like I said, I think it's at that stage now where I think everybody probably had a look at it and thought, I never seen that coming, type thing. But I'm the same camp as you, and I have been for the last 3 months or however long he's been in the job, but I'm fully trusting of what's happening. You know, I obviously spots something. He obviously identified an area of how to get at Rangers other than the absolute obvious. And actually, I was going to say this to anybody, any interlopers that are watching any Hibs or Celtic that like to jump onto these things, please don't take the highlights of Sky and BBC as how the game panned out. Other than 15 minutes in the second half, Hearts absolutely battered Rangers. The first half especially, it could have been any number. If we'd actually just been a wee bit more clinical, if we could get our combinations to click. Like I said, a wee wobble in the second half, which you would expect when you play a at Ibrox and you play against a team that, let's not forget, right, I know that they're in a bit of a situation right now, but they spent £30 million in the transfer window. Like, they're not absolute jobbers. It's not like we're playing against a team that, you know, we expect to go win type thing. You know, they're a team that's playing well below their best. But let's also remember that we watched, I think, did we get beat 3-1 off Rangers at Tynecastle last year? And I think they only had one shot on target. We scored 2 own goals. That was the Rangers teams that we've struggled to beat in the last 18 games have largely been dog shit. And we haven't laid a glove on them. So the highlights were comical, made me laugh. I think some of them ran, we didn't even show you Halkett's absolute sitter in the opening minutes. That should have done better way. There was Kizaridis had a half chance, Shankland had a half chance. There was a couple of times where Braga made the wrong choice when he got in behind. He absolutely battered Rangers. Absolutely battered them, especially that first 45 minutes, Kev.
I watched the game back this afternoon from Hearts TV, and I didn't really think, other than the long shots that they were having from 25, 30 yards, that really in that first half that we even came under any real pressure from them. And I know a couple of Rangers fans had been saying that the team have been pretty shit this season. I was like, they can't be that bad. But actually watching them for that first 45 minutes yesterday, they were awful.
Aye. Tam, the thing that stood out for me is one of the things that we've belittled our own club for years was that, and I talk about it all the time, and you'll be sick of hearing me talk about it, shape, formations, all that stuff. We didn't beat Rangers yesterday because of the shape Rangers were playing or the formation that Rangers played. We beat Rangers yesterday because we played with tempo, we were aggressive, and we were all over them, as in we were running as fast as we could. We never let them settle. We hunted and freeze. We constantly overloaded them. We constantly pressed them where we wanted to be, where we wanted them to be on the ball. Let them have the ball where we were happy with them being in those areas. That's all the stuff that we've watched teams do to us for years. You know, so that's how we beat Rangers yesterday, was tempo and aggression, because they were just miles off it.
You're spot on. As you've said, we've seen Hearts teams that try to build for the back, and you get St Mirren or Kilmarnock or something coming to Tynecastle and they're pressing from the front and try to win the ball back as quick as possible. And that's exactly what we were yesterday. To a man, everyone was just all in on that plan to break down and let Rangers make mistakes and win the ball back. And that's the most encouraging thing you can see. Like, you look at the stats for the game and you see what, I think we only had about 40% possession or something. But as you say, it doesn't show what the actual game went or how it was when you were watching it, because anything meaningful was on our side and they were passing it centre half, left back. Pressure was on, they would lose the ball, put out the park, make a mistake. And that's exactly what our game plan was. So, perfect.
John Souttar will walk into Murray Park tomorrow and have the best stats out of every player in the Scottish Premier League for Saturday. His pass completion rate, passes made, it'll be astronomical. But he never went any further than 25 yards for his own goal, and he just passed the ball about the back, constant. It was, again, it's that stuff we talk about all the time. It's not a difficult game. I think young managers especially get blinded by stats and trying to be tidy on the eye. Like I said, we get 40% possession, but 100% of the goals. Like, that's what matters. That's what matters. And like you said, first half especially, they never, a couple of toe pokes for 30 yards or whatever across that caught the wind or whatever and nearly looked over the keeper. Well, like the only things of note that they done in that first half, it was totally dominant.
Yep. Which is good to see.
Yeah, there's so many that like stood out as well. Like, we've kind of said that I don't think McEntie's a right back or whatever, but he was so aggressive that first half and he was winning absolutely everything. And then you look at the two midfield too, they were all in as a unit, which we've no seen before. And then you've got these runners off those midfield too, with Shankland, Kizaridis, Braga. And Braga was, honestly, at this point with Braga, I think we'll be lucky to keep him after January at this point, because he's going to make us a few coins, put it that way.
Aye. And I think the McEntee thing, we've seen it against Livingston, right? Is that down that side, Harry Milne had probably his worst game in a Hearts jersey playing against Livingston. But McEntee is aggressive, he wins headers, but he's also like really strong in the tackling that day. And they just nullified every single thing that came from that side. Even things like, now, not to get technical or the way it goes, right, but the way they play that Barron in the 6, so that the two centre half split. Barron will sit, he'll pop it to Suter, and Suter's supposed to switch it. That's what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to suck us in, and then the counter to get out is to Diag. He carry that because McEntee will win every single header. Every single header that's the way that Russell Martin plays. That's what it is. You try and engage, get us to press them high up the park. Your number 6 will drop, take the ball off the centre halves, play some passes to beat the press, and then hit the Diag so that they can go. And they just had they just couldn't handle it. All game, they said we got a bit, no sloppy, but they were the home team. It was a 15-minute spell where we kind of lost the way a wee bit. But as soon as we weathered that storm, they had nothing. They had no answer for anything that we were playing. And I know that the manager shouted it out yesterday or whatever. And I feel again and sit back and bask in my own glory, vindicated. I said on last week's podcast the value of Lauren Shankland. And yesterday he's everything that Rangers didn't have. Everything Majowski wasn't, Shankland was. Drop deep, hold the ball up, finds a pass, goes long, can run into the channel, occupies defenders, brings his teammates into play, covers probably more distance than everybody on the park, and when he gets a chance, can score. I think that's probably the first chance that we've created for Shankland in probably 3 games, and he's scored.
Yep.
It's even a proper chance. It's a half chance at best, and he scores. So yeah, but it was an all-round unbelievable performance. It was points yesterday, and it was making me uncomfortable how comfortable we were.
Aye, totally echo that. It's sitting watching it like on the Hearts International coverage and just going like if you're right, you can't put your finger on it, but you're just going like this is a completely dominant performance, completely like they're not even laying a glove on us. What the hell is going to go wrong, right? And it's like remember that game. This isn't comparing the same thing right enough, but remember when we had like 3 or 4 players sent off at Ibrox. Like, this is the kind of thing that's going to happen now, just in order to just to try and level everything. Like, and again, that what I'm talking about obviously was completely different. We didn't dominate Rangers that day, far from it. But no, you're absolutely right. It's one of them. You're just sitting there waiting, and that's one of the problems of being a Hearts fan, is that ultimately the overwhelming pessimism, knowing that the floor can fall out from underneath you at any point, just sort of looms quite large. But it's sitting watching it, it's difficult to enjoy it. That's the bit that really, really annoys me. And you're smiling because I know exactly you're cut for the same cloth as me. Sitting there, knowing that we should absolutely walk out of there 4 or 5-0 victors, but still somehow waiting for the bottom to fall out.
Kev, that's for me. That's the most impressive thing because, like we've just said there, like we went to Scottish Cup final with Robbie after Rangers lost in Seville. Partied on the Thursday, partied on the Friday, came on Saturday, and we never laid a glove on them. Played in the cup final, never the shot on target, and get beat in a game that all the momentum was with us. We had the results and everything land the way that it was meant to be, and we show up and shatter pants. You know, we went to Hampden under Stephen A. Smith. It was Clement's first game or second game in charge at Rangers after they just sacked their manager. We were unbeaten in X amount of games. We got beat 3-1. Like that, we don't normally go to these places and do what you would. We're never Ron Seal in these situations. We'll never do what you're meant to do in the tin, and that was the most impressive thing yesterday. As Hearts should have won yesterday on paper. We're by far the better team. We're in better form, but it's very rare that happens. It makes me uncomfortable.
It is strange. It's a little bit like the situation of us now looking at ourselves as a big team. We have to stand up and act like a big team. And there's been a number of points, you've raised it enough times, Corbett, over the years, of the way in which the actual club now operate is getting better. And a lot of that comes down to Tony Bloom, his investment, but also, as we mentioned way back, who he has on the board. I think you're starting to see the overall improvement coming right through the whole club. And that now is also what we're seeing on the park. So from that side of things, I know exactly what you're saying. It does feel uncomfortable. It's a little bit like that situation during the Celtic Hearts game. We were 4-0 up in the 88th minute, and we're all still worried that something was going to go wrong and we were going to lose 5-4. It's that same kind of stuff.
Yeah, and no, I won't. We were bound by confidentiality at the Federation rally final meeting that we had, and Derek McInnes came and spoke to the people of the Federation. But one of the things that he spoke about, now bear in mind that this was maybe 3 weeks ago, one of the things he spoke about was the mentality when it comes to playing Rangers. Now that's clearly been something that they've spoke about since he's came in, because he'd said about some of the players, the established players that have been there, have got a real they're horrified of playing Rangers. They've got a real thing, a real hoodoo over them about it, and they've been talking about trying to build their confidence about going to these places, playing these teams, and winning matches. He's been speaking about it. The confidence that gives the group. If you get a manager that comes in and he's talking 3 or 4 games ahead, saying, "Look, we've got Ibrox now. What I win. You just need to get on board. This is what needs to happen. You're believing yourself. This is what we're doing." Players start buying into that sort of stuff massively. Do you know what I mean? Like, if he goes and says that we're going to win at these venues, and then you go win at these venues, everything that he says now, they'll be absolutely buying into tenfold. You look at Halkett, Kingsley, Clark on the bench, you've got Benny, you've got Devlin, you've got Shankland. I think any of these players have beat Rangers in a Hearts jersey. You know what I mean? So, like, the boost that they get knowing, actually, we can go to these places, we can go play against these teams, and we can execute a plan. Like, there's so much positives to take for that. San Francisco Jambo just said it there. I know that he's tongue-in-cheek laughing at we get a penalty and 3 points at Ibrox or whatever, but it was the confidence, Tam, of how we executed the plan. I've seen us go there and be naive. We get banged by 5, I think, we were like 10 undefeated under Naismith, and went, and we were 3 or 4-0 down after like 15, 20 minutes. It's the confidence in the group that is the most impressive for me right now.
I do agree. To be honest, even when you spoke earlier about that 15-minute spell, like, how many times have you seen, even home and away, against either of the Glasgow teams, if they get that 15-minute spell where they may have got a goal or the tide sort of changes, how many times have we seen it where Hearts teams crumble in the past and they just get suckered into, they're going to be the better team at this point, they're coming back into it, and feeling like what I probably did yesterday, I was like, a goal is coming. It's probably, the players probably have felt that in the past. So to see us not crumble and then get a second after that, that was the, like, also brought a lot of confidence for me going forward as well.
The other thing as well, I know that we're jumping ahead, we'll come talk about obviously the opening goal and the circumstances around it. But again, I go back to the changes in the second half. He brought Elton Cabango on to go score more goals because he knew that they're going to cut. It's 81 minutes, we're 2-0 up. They have no choice. They have to pile forward. They have to try and score goals. Put Elton on, who is rapid, and just every single time you win the ball back, launch it. Just put it into the channel, he'll chase it. And then put Magnuson on as well. Start winning headers, start winning knockdowns, start having a presence there again. And it's that, like, I know I'm going to keep bang on about it all the time. An experienced manager that understands where he's playing. You know, the danger at, again, I will laugh about it. 4 minutes, I think we played additional in the first half, and we played over 10 minutes in the second. 14 minutes added on time. There was over both halves. Shankland scored in the 82nd minute. So that means that there was 18 minutes still to play. You know, we could have went, right, 2-0 up, brilliant, go 5 at the back, invite them onto us, and just hang on and see if we can hang on. They immediately score to make it 2-1, momentum changes, like what happened with Motherwell, and then you could be hanging on and you're looking at, it could be 2-2, it could be 3-2 then, or whatever, all the momentum goes with them. He never once said, cool, we're sound to or then. He was thinking, how do we keep pressure on them so that they can't just go gung-ho? They have to think about us as well. And it's just wee tiny things like that that elevate us. And I know that folk probably think, who cares? It's nothing in the game, but it's just wee stupid things like that. How many? We've watched managers do it before. We've seen it 100 times before. Robbie Nielsen 2-0 up in the derby at Tynecastle against Championship Hibs, takes players off at half-time, and we draw 2-2 because we just can't get momentum. We just cannot get the momentum. We go and score, make it 3-0, you go win 4-0, potentially. But if it gets to 2-1, the momentum goes with all the team that scores. It's the most dangerous lead to defend. So that's the thing that was most impressive with me, was just how confident we were, how confident in the group, how confident we are now. There were people coming on the bench. You know, last year and the season before, we were looking at bringing on like Denham, Macaulay Tate, like James Wilson, like just young guys that were just getting chucked in, or total randoms like Kyle, whatever he was called, the guy that we got for Newcastle, the wonder kid. Like, he was just random people coming on or going into positions that they didn't play or whatever it was. Here, everything's on purpose, has a meaning, and is clearly being practiced and drilled into them. And it's the most impressive thing about it.
When you talk about that as well, with the purpose and all that, I think McInnes really obviously understands the narrative that was surrounding that game yesterday. Obviously, we're going 1-0 up, and Ibrox is turning toxic. There's boos all around the stadium, whatnot, as well. And it's, as you say, when he's making those changes, he's piling on the pressure again, because like the Ibrox crowd aren't going to settle for basically that level of performance. If Kabangu's coming on and still stretching them, rather than us going and putting 11 men behind the ball like we've seen however many times before. And that's exactly it. And he understands the game, and it's like understands what it means for us to go there and really make a statement, and understands what Rangers fans are going to get raging at the same time as well.
Yeah. He's ruthless to, you've got a wounded dog on the ground and you got its foot in its neck. You can't. You take your foot off. You take your foot off that neck, you're getting bit. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I like. I know it sounds, but that's what I like about him. He is absolutely ruthless. He sensed blood. An inexperienced manager that's struggling. He was all out to kill Russell Martin yesterday. He had him in his crosshairs, and he was doing a shit whether he killed him or not. He had his foot in his neck and kept it there till he died. And I love the ruthlessness.
And all we can do with that ruthlessness is continue it. If I'm being truthfully honest, I'm a bit disappointed we've not got a game this weekend to keep that momentum going. That's one thing. But, in saying that, I wouldn't be surprised if, again, through his managerial expertise, he's probably got a bounce game sorted out. Maybe Thursday, Friday, Saturday, something like that. Again, because, as you rightly say, it's these little things that actual football managers understand, they know, and they will look to make sure that at the end of the day, there's, you're keeping that momentum, you're keeping that group of guys together. Shankland said that yesterday in his interview at the end of the game. Was all about how the actual team are properly united. They're also sharing out goals. You know, it's not all like it was last year, all on his shoulders. And we've spoke about it as well, that because there's no expectation on somebody like Shankland to score goals and get us out the shit. From that point of view, he's actually playing with a lot more freedom. And as he also said, that connection with Braga can only flourish with more and more games that the two of them play.
I like as well, like, McKenna said something after the game yesterday that I really liked, because I was the same, thinking, right, we've got huge momentum, but we had huge momentum and beat Levy, then we had the Scotland break, then we've obviously won a huge game yesterday at Ibrox, and now we have another break. He made a comment that I thought that I love that. He spoke about how much it'll hurt watching teams play in the League Cup. Mentioned it. He said, yeah, that's good that we've got some time off, the players at the weekend off. We'll come in, we'll maybe have a bounce game, blah, 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 blah. He's like, but I'm not going to lie to you, we'll stint to watch the other teams play in the League Cup. And I was like, that's the type of thing that we'd be using as fuel to be like, we've been brilliant this season, but don't rest on your laurels, because we should be in the hat for the next round of the Cup. It's the only blotch that we have in the paper, and the only way we fix that is by winning games. Like, it's just wee stupid things like that when you go back to that absolute sad sack Critchley and the shit that he used to say, if you're B&M, birthday card, pish, live, laugh, love football, like, he just doesn't have any bit about him. To have a manager that's got stuff about him, that knows what it takes. I also liked, because we're talking about interviews, two things. One, I love the fact that he shouted out Elton Cabangu. Obviously, sung the praises of Lauren Shankland, but Elton Cabangu sat on the bench all season. It's basically all he's not had a sniff other than in the League Cup group stages. He came on for the remainder of the game yesterday, and all he did was run. He set up Manson in the last bit or whatever, but he wasn't hugely impactful in terms of creating chances or almost scoring goals or whatever. He came on and played his part, and I loved that he shouted him out. I loved that he acknowledged the running, the effort, etc. Because Braga's been in the press getting praise, Kizarides is in the press getting praise, Shankland gets the double, gets all that stuff. I love the fact that he called him out as well for his efforts in the game. And Shankland said something about the luck king, and that's the thing where, like, those wee bits where he said the lucky last season or whatever, like, he just didn't have any luck whatsoever. Nothing would fall for him. It never got the break of the ball. Decisions weren't going his way, etc., etc. And again, that I hate all that self-pity stuff. You create your own luck in football, and I think that now seamless, because we're a professional podcast, we'll obviously talk about the incident in the first half, but I like that, he acknowledged that he's carrying a bit of luck, which I think will help him massively. We've scored six goals now for the season. It's his sixth goal yesterday. So I think he's moved up at the rankings of the all-time SPL goal scorer as well. So, it's only a good thing for Hearts. Right, obviously there was one big, huge talking point in the first half. What's our thoughts and feelings on the opening goal, and was it or was it not a handball?
Hearts glasses on firmly. I'm going to say it was at the what do they call it, the sleeve, put it that way. So for me, it's one of those, if it's given VR, it's not clear and obvious, so they shouldn't have overturned it. So I get why there might be some Rangers fans or anyone question it, but at the same time, it's not clear and obvious that it is an actual handball, because it's more up towards here. So for me, it stands. I don't see any issue.
Kev?
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. You could understand it if it was to be overturned. You would go, aye, okay. And I think even Shankland himself, that's why he doesn't celebrate it. He didn't quite know himself whether or not it was going to get pulled back. And the last thing you want to do is make an absolute Ricky Hunt of it, and make yourself look stupid in that situation. But at the end of the day, you play to the whistle. So from that point of view, it hasn't been called out. Had it been the other way around, I would be screaming. I'd be absolutely screaming for that being a handball. But hey, it wasn't. But you need the luck. You need to roll with you. So from that point of view, we'll take it. We'll take it every day of the week.
What's your thoughts on it, Ando?
I think he's still occupied, so.
Oh, it's fine. He's still
Yeah.
I'll go off screen so that no one can see him. I think I wanted it to be more of a handball. I wanted them to have stopped it, caught it, bounced it 4 times, and then hang out, just because the tears and snotters is absolutely sensational. I love the fact that he scores and he clearly says, "I think that's handball." He literally says that to Kazarides and Braga when they come over to celebrate. Like, he also pretty much says it in his post-match interview. It was a handball. Delighted, absolutely delighted. The amount of times that we've seen ridiculous decisions go against us against that mob. Like I said, I just wanted them to have absolute Harlem Globetrotter that I'd have preferred if he'd run up the park spinning it in his finger like that. That would have been absolutely delightful. Braga behind him just fucking rain fucking money in Tony Bloom's pocket. Absolute establishment FC. It'd be brilliant. But I think I really like the first goal because the pure juxtaposition. There you go. There you go. You can have that for free, right?
Did you get a word calendar for your birthday or something?
The 2 sides is there to see. Dioma, and it reminded me of the Hibs goal last season at Easter Road, the Triantis or whoever it was, the toe poke. No, it was the other guy that toe poked it. I don't know what his name is, but in the derby with the 1-2-1 at Easter Road, Shankland just has to trip him up, just pull him down, take the book in, stop the play developing. You'll be fine. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're there to then score a goal, and that Diamande just has to. They're obviously contentious that they think it's a handball, so you think he just clip his heels, take Shankland out, like, do you know what I mean? He was running alongside him, pull him down. Referee will have to move for a foul. You get the crowd up because they're annoyed that the handball wasn't there, blah, 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 blah. But it just shows you where it is. They didn't let play develop, feeling sorry for themselves that they think it's a handball. Shankland into Braga way clearly is now in people's heads as well. You know, the defenders don't know whether to dive in, whether to stick, whether to push him out wide because he's got it all in his bag. And then the pass to Shankland and the finish, like, you can't underestimate how good a finish is. He knows the defender sliding in, so he hits it off the ground. He knows he can't drill it low, like Braga in the Livingston game when Shankland put him clean through with the goalkeeper, and he tried to side foot it. He tried to side foot it into the bottom corner, and it was always curving away, and he went out for a throw in the end. And that's that instinctive finishing stuff. Shankland knows the guy's sliding in, so he lifts it, and it takes the keeper. The keeper's obviously think it'll go low in that day, so it fingers the keeper as well. It gives him no chance, which is an unbelievable finish. And that's the type of stuff that I hope we see more from Shankland, because I'm not even exaggerating. I think that's probably the first chance we've created Shankland in about 3 games, and he took it. And that's if we can start to see that other side of that link-up play, because Shankland is well in tune with Braga and knows where he's going to be, set him up, set Kidizidis up, etc. for the goal at Levy and that as well. If they can start to now set him up, then we're going to be in an unbelievable place, because Shankland is deadly. And that finish was just prime Shankland. It was a belter.
I wouldn't underestimate that pass as well. That fair play to Braga. That was like, he took everyone out, every defender out the game with that pass, and knew exactly where Shankland would be. And as you say, hopefully it's just a case that's 5 games into the season now, and they're just clicking, and they're going to create that partnership to keep going. And
it also kind of be missed that both of them played within the width of the 18-yard box as well yesterday, which I loved. That's where Shankland does all of his damage. You know, when we're struggling and he drops and he starts hitting bylines and touch lines, etc., is when he's too deep or too wide. So it was class. It was great to see. Obviously, second half, I don't want to call it a wobble. I don't think it was a wobble. I think that they're at home, they're a good team, they get good players. I just think that they managed to get into their rhythm a little bit. In the second half, we dropped maybe a little bit too deep, maybe couldn't keep the press as high and as aggressive as what we'd done in the first half. But we rode the storm, managed to get away with it. the second controversial decision of the game. Is it a foul on the goalkeeper? Should their goal have stood? What's our thoughts and feelings?
Okay, I'm going to caveat this again with my maroon specs on. If I didn't have them on, sorry, I'd be saying, what the fuck was that given for? But at the same time, watching it back, I can again see Asgard is kind of pushing into the keeper. I also think Shvolov needs to be doing better in that situation and no just going down, because there's no every time that's going to be taken away. But at the same time, it probably is a foul, but I think we've got away with one there for me.
Kev?
Yeah, I would agree. When I've seen it. You're right. You know, Asgard does look straight at the keeper and backs into him. But you would want that from any Hearts player to do it. You would want exactly the same. You know, put the keeper under some form of pressure. And again, I think he needs. You're right. He needs to be stronger in that particular instance. He does sort of flap at it a little bit. But you know, at the end of the day, I think it was an easy enough decision for the VAR system as well, or whoever was on VAR yesterday, just because of the fact that he just looks at him, doesn't look at the ball at any point. And when I think when you see that from Ashgard's point of view, I think you're automatically saying, aye, he wasn't looking to play the ball, he's looking to try and take the keeper out of the equation. So I can see it both ways, but I think we did get away with one in that situation.
It probably comes down to one of those things again where is it clear and obvious to overturn it again? Like I said with everyone, and it's probably they're not going to overturn it.
It wasn't soft enough for me. I wanted it to be even worse than what it was. I wanted it to be even softer than it was. The new goalkeeper is mental, to be fair. He came for absolutely everything. There was points where he was like, there was one point in the first half I thought he was going to dive and header a bit. he pure dive and punched the ball away for some reason.
The Manuel Neuer type thing.
The guy's absolutely batshit crazy. You get Craig Gordon that will never come off his line, and then you've got this guy that's never on his line. He was absolutely bananas.
He actually had a great game, to be fair. We just said he needs to be better there, but for a debut at Ibrox, didn't look phased at all in any way. And yeah,
I think what you would, if we're being serious, I think that Asgard doesn't look at the ball at any point, jumps into the keeper immediately, and then there's two of them pushing into or backing into him as he flaps. So I get it, it's soft, but again, fuck him. It was absolutely. Remember Andy Davies? Remember Kyriakos or whatever he was called? Just flopped in at the back post after a Rickson floating free kick that went absolutely nowhere. They get a penalty to save their season. Like, don't forget these things. Don't forget these things.
You don't hold a grudge, do you? No.
The thing is, and I laugh all the time about, especially with the stuff that was yesterday, is I always feel that like whenever there's a goal scored against Celtic or Rangers, it's almost like the VAR scrolls through the tapes to find something. Like it's no like clear up or was it clear and obvious or anything contentious. It's like they dig through the tapes to try and find anything to be like, right, we've got to chop that off, or was there something in there? So for us to be on the good side of those decisions yesterday was very fun. It was very fun just to see the absolute breakdown. You're going to say something? You're deep in thought or something?
There's a first. There's a first.
It's just a wee wheel going in my head. Sorry, man.
I was like, you trying to put a comment up or something. Like I couldn't think what you were trying to do. I was just looking.
But I don't know how to do that. So
you want to read the comment out then, since you can't do it?
I was just going to put in. I don't even know how to say Bendy Waters' name, the first bit, but
I don't know what you're talking about, mate.
All right, okay, I thought you were reading it as well, sorry. But he said, according to the rules, after the Rangers defender made a deliberate attempt to get the ball and got a touch, then it became a new phase of play. Don't know why it was given. Now that I've read it back, I don't think it actually makes sense. So carry on.
That sounds, man. I think it makes sense. But like I said, it wasn't soft enough for me. It was not soft enough. And then we get to the next or the last controversial bit of the game, the penalty. What's our thoughts and feelings on the pen?
It's not a stonewall penalty, but it is a penalty. As far as I'm concerned. Again, we've spoken about this on a number of occasions. If that's a challenge anywhere else in the on the park, it's a free kick. So why should it be any different? If you watch the actual movement, and Diamandi knows it himself. He knows straight away that he's actually clipped Mill. And from that point of view, I didn't see any one Rangers player actually even argue the point. They all knew exactly what had happened. I found it even, what I found strange about it was the length of time it took them to actually confirm that it was actually a penalty.
Cam, one in nodding dog since you've read kick back and you're not just going to agree with it.
I'm going to
argue back, Tam.
For once, I actually feel differently here. You're talking about the clip, you're talking about the challenge. I don't really feel there was one. I feel it was a loss of his footing more than everything. It's not a dive, but I don't feel there was an actual touch, to be honest. I think it looks like it, but I don't think there was very much for him to go down. And again, got away with one. But that's what establishment clubs do, as you say, Corbett.
I watched when you first see it. I think it looks soft for me, but Kev nailed the right thing that changed my opinion of it, which is the reaction of the Rangers players. I think that Diamandi, when Mill cuts inside, Diamandi cuts across and tries to challenge him with his right foot and doesn't. There's no connection, 100% there's no connection. But it's his left leg after his next step that clips the heel of Mill as he's going through. And you see John Souttar and Tav, as they're coming the opposite direction, I think one of them picks the ball up in his heads like that, his head's in his hands, because he knows that there's been a clip. He knows that there's been a foul. The reaction of the players, the Rangers players especially, is what sells it for me that it's a penalty.
Agree.
You can see it in the angles as well. You can see it in the one that Hart's post that he clips his left leg as he skips past them. So it's soft, but it is a penalty in my opinion. And then obviously Shankland steps up. It's a pretty shite penalty, to be honest with you. But he does what all good strikers do, which is react and tucks in the rebound, which was fun because the scenes was great, and it was a moment for a player that I've been desperate to see back scoring. He obviously last year was very disappointing for him personally. He won't be lost on him that obviously Scotland were away and he wasn't there. So to be back and scoring goals, it was a great moment, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's the way he does get the chance to actually celebrate that one. But it is an interesting question. How many penalties has he now missed?
I know he does miss
scores the rebound, but he's missed a good few.
I know you're not on social media, Corbett, but he did post something like, if pens don't count, score rebounds on his Instagram. So
he did message. He says that it counts as an open goal, an open play goal.
There you go.
Which is decent, but yeah, I think he missed against Bruges, and I think we only got one other penalty last season, wasn't it? George Grant missed it at Aberdeen, and then the season prior to that, he missed at Easter Road. I think he missed against Celtic as well, didn't he? But I think he scored the rebound, or was it Gino that scored the rebound? Or what? Remember, there was one where it was.
I can't remember specifically.
But he handed it over. Of course, he handed over the goal, the penalty taken to George Grant. Of course, that's who scored the first goal in the Celtic game. And Joe Hart was giving Shankland absolute dog's abuse for not taking the penalty. He's like, I'm going to take penalties now.
But I was delighted for Shankland. I won't lie. Again, McInnes has spoke quite freely at the Federation thing about just them trying to get Shankland to stop trying so hard. He's got this thing about trying to repay the fans, trying to prove to everybody that he wanted to be here, he wants to be part of the club, that's why he's in the deal, or that type of stuff. He's covering more distance than anybody. And I said it's the only thing that I would have loved to have seen click a wee bit better now is just to be creating more chances for Shankland. So for him to get a double was absolutely class. And Chris Sutton summed it up perfectly with some of the stuff that he'd said, obviously. Rangers in this summer could have had Lawrence Shankland for nothing. You know, and the fact that he scores the 2 goals that probably put one of, if not the final nail in the coffin of the manager was sensational. And I'm going to go back to say 2 things. Hopefully Hearts fans are now starting to build a bit of get behind the manager. There's one huge elephant in the room, right? We still haven't put 90 minutes together. We were absolutely nowhere near our best yesterday either. We are top of the league. We haven't lost a game. Our next league match, touchwood, is against Falkirk at Tynecastle. You know, these are. And do we play Hibs the next game too? Is our next 2 games 2 home games?
2 home games.
Yeah.
Like, think about. There's things that haven't been right. There's things that aren't working. The right back position still not fixed. But think of what is working. We're winning. This time last year, we didn't even won a game yet. I think at this point last year, we were in Tynecastle and I was punching my fucking seat because we've sent Craig Gordon up for a 96-minute corner at home to Ross County to try and equalise. And I was like, why are you doing this to me, Hearts? We're 5 games into the season. Why are you ruining my life? We get the goalkeeper up against fucking Ross County. Then now we've got to Ibrox and winning games. So there's plenty more to come for Hearts, and that's the most exciting thing for me, is that if we can keep people fit, if we can keep the momentum going, keep building what we're doing, we've already built the foundations of being, first and foremost, how many times last season do we talk about? If you concede, it makes your job of winning 10 times harder. Then you concede. You know, make yourself hard to play against, make yourself hard to beat. Don't concede cheap goals, and then take a chance here or there. We've put all of that stuff right. We could get better at the keeping a clean sheet, which the club done. They played a pretty ruthless move, if we're being brutally honest. Xander Clark has been okay without being absolutely amazing. And they signed a keeper at the first opportunity that they had and replaced him. You know, so...
To be fair, I think we all said it a couple of weeks ago when he came in. We didn't even think he would come in to be a number 1 type thing. Yeah, so
no, but and I think it's a huge statement for where we are. That we're not here to fuck about. We're not here to fuck about. We're not spent the money. We haven't done the investment. We haven't built the infrastructure. We're only using the data to mess about. So it can only get better. Can only get better from here. And winning games like yesterday will be absolutely huge for the group. So I hope that the fans that have got any negative thoughts about Derek McInnes, genuinely, you're wasting your time. You're just going to make yourself look stupid, because he's a proper manager and we will be a proper football team. And the other one is Lawrence Shankland. I'm going to fight my dad. I'll fight anybody that wants to fight me. Lawrence Shankland is Hearts. He makes Hearts tick. He is everything that is good about Hearts. And I'll go back to it. We had a season of what it's like to play without Lawrence Shankland, and that was last season. We know what life is like without him. We finished 7th. We went to the 4th last game of the season before we confirmed our survival in the Premier League. Lawrence Shankland is unbelievable. Everything about him is class. His professionalism, he's fitter, he's stronger, his awareness, his passing, his link-up play, movement, finishing, he's top tier. And fans need to start appreciating what he does, because he is sensational.
he really looked like he wanted to be playing at Ibrox yesterday for Rangers, uninterested, overwhelmed. all the good stuff.
These are the little things, though. And we spoke about it when we're talking about the penalty. You can see it written all over his face, how much he enjoyed actually scoring that goal yesterday, having that opportunity to actually celebrate in front of that corner. He was effectively that's what he's there for, and that's what I think that's what makes him tick. You know, and the fact that he's now actually got support round about him, it's not all on his shoulders, as I said earlier on. What he's now able to do is just enjoy football again, and I think that's what we did see in the first couple of seasons with Lawrence in the actual team, was that he was just enjoying. Firstly, probably being back in Scotland, family maybe a bit more settled, all these kind of things. That's what you're now seeing. You know, you're getting that back, and from my point of view, long let it continue.
What I would add as well, folk questioning him being captain. You look at yesterday and you just see he is the captain of the team. Like every single player when he's scoring that goal. I know that obviously you're going to celebrate, but after the game, everyone about it, he is the leader of that team, and that's why he's starting every week.
You look at the people that are in the dressing room last season too. You look at the manager. I've said to you before, the man was an absolute mouse of a man. Like that, those things matter. Those things matter. You need somebody that has the swagger to carry the swagger of your club. We've got that now, and now you can see that Shankland runs the dressing room. It always has. You know, if you think that last season Shankland wasn't in the dressing room tearing strips off people, you're absolutely bananas. The difference is now is there's structure to it. There's a manager that will fix what's not working, can see what's not working, and it's not just somebody shouting into the empty void. People are actually paying attention to what's being said, and they can see the reaction. They can see the results of what's been going on. Do you know what I mean? It's very positive. Anything else of yesterday's game that we want to discuss? Any comments on YouTube since people are been listening? Ando, you're back now. Tam, can you put the comments up? So there's been anything that's come in that we want to
You saying I can't get up? Corbett, I can't get up.
Yeah, you kind of get up. There you go. There's we plug Newman or Bluetooth, whatever it's called. The thing, if you want to sponsor the podcast, Tam needs a wee bit of help. Especially tonight, he's got two lady friends staying over. So
I know. Can we cover that off for 5 minutes at the end, please? Because Tam is very, very dismissive in the group chat earlier on. So,
William, how annoying is it? It's incredible. We've been doing this for less than 50 minutes and he's away. Even my wife last night at the party mentioned how many times this Tam got to the toilet, and I was like, I know, it was insane. It's insane.
I'm glad you know I've got a weak bladder or something. It's not like you're just like I'm just
like no, but seriously though, what is it? Is it just like
it's just weak mind? It's just a weak mind, man. I'm nervous. That's what it said.
We cup tie nerves as we arseholes. So Scott Stevie Gold, that's a very good point. Actually, I don't want to be that guy that's I was talking to Casper Schmeichel. But was that a thing where he was there and they were talking about that exact thing? If they'd played on the Wednesday, his family lived still in Denmark or whatever it is he's from. I'm sure it's Denmark, isn't it? He is Danish, isn't he? His family still lived there. So if they played on the Wednesday, it meant he could get a day off on the Thursday, could go home conceivably to see his family. But now they play on the Thursday and they play on the Sunday, kind of get time off. So like they're the little things that Celtic that'll build up. And if anybody watched the Celtic come on that game today, absolutely horrendous. They are not
absolutely awful.
Yeah, they're not a side that we should be feared of. Now, don't get me wrong, they protested because they've only won. Now everybody just, I know that they hate Celtic, right? But a bit of sympathy here, right? I know that we've got it quite good right now. They have only won 23 out of the last 27 trophies. I know everybody pick yourself up off the ground. How terrible must it be to be a Celtic fan? You've got to sleep with your sister, your priest, and all that. I know that's bad enough, but to only have won 23 trophies, that's horrendous, man. So fair play to them for standing up for their club and doing a protest and that today. I'd be furious if that was Hearts. I'd be absolutely livid. But they were absolute dog shit. They were absolute dog shit. And it was funny because my Celtic mate messaged me yesterday to be like talking about the decisions that we got, and then very quiet when I messaged them the night to say, still talking about dodgy decisions, because there was one after the day that we could talk about. But they don't look they don't look like a great side. They look like they're in a bit of a sticky situation themselves. So we've got to absolutely plough on and try and take advantage of the fact that we have all this time off. Give us the opportunity to get players fit again and get them back in the squad, etc. So that's where we're at.
You mentioned the other odd, Tam. Sorry, Corbett. There is a bounce game. Do we know who it's against?
I don't know, but I believe it's on Wednesday, I think, again. But we seem to have more bounce games than we do actual league games, so it's quite nice to see.
I mean, the thing is, what's weird is that's no unusual, right? Football teams do that all the time.
Right.
What's unusual is we talk about it all the time. like Jamestown Analytics, there's hundreds of clubs on planet Earth that use Jamestown. They don't talk about it, but we speak about it every day. The same with bounce games. We just talk about playing bounce games on repeat.
You better watch how much water you're taking on, Corbett. Any more water than Tam will need to go for another piss.
I'm all right. I had my full body MOT for my 40th. I'm all right.
But by the way, that good fun when you get the letter through and you have to go down for it, and then you get. I'm not going to ask you too many questions, but I think you were poked and prodded and everything, and then you're going to get a letter in a couple of weeks for the fluids they had to send off.
We're all good. We're all good. The funniest thing I even said to the doctor guy, which was quite strange, was that he was like face to cock, looking at my testicles and balls and knobs. I've only got one set of testicles. I don't know why I said balls. I've not got more than the normal.
Wait a minute. What's going on here?
I've got the regular allocation of testicles, right? But he was there and he never said that, and he just did it like it was the most normal thing on planet Earth. But then when he had to look in my eye, he was like, "I'm really, really sorry. I'm so close to you." And I was like, "Mate, you're literally inches from my knob. You never even told that." And now you're like in my face, and suddenly you want to say sorry. I was like, "You've got your priorities wrong." Like,
Kim, it's weird. Like, see, when I was 40, I had nobody stared in my Johnson or balls at all. It's like they didn't even care, didn't even bother looking.
Please don't take this the wrong way, though, Ando, but you're not as sexy looking as Corbett is with that hair.
Well, there's no hair down there because of thanks to Manscaped. So
that was 3 years ago, man. Move on.
Thanks to Coral, you mean, Corbett? Thanks to Coral.
Thanks to Coral, I managed to get myself a back sack and crack for my 40th. So place your free bet now. But that was funny. That was very strange. And then I was like, I should have asked if he was actually a doctor. Could have got heavy awkward very quickly. Right. What else are we talking about? Any other things on YouTube that we wanted to discuss, cover?
No, don't think so. I'm just saying earlier on.
No.
In fact, you've got to wait till next Saturday now for the next game.
I know. I think we have to have some sort of like podcast in between, just of something. I don't know.
We should have. You could have taken one of their players out last night, Tam. You could have got an injury to a major player for Falkirk if you'd played your cards right.
I've got a good side tackle. I was too busy asking for selfies and that. Like, I was like,
you were too busy fanboying, like to do him an injury. That'll be interesting though, because again, it's a bit like I'll go back to the Motherwell theory that we had before. They won't come in low block. It's not how they play. So gives a real opportunity to, if we play with the right tempo, the right aggression, if we play high and wide, I think we'll create lots of chances because they will not change the way that they play football. John McGlynn doesn't change. How far John McGlynn was at the party last night as well. He was looking well. He was enjoying himself as we started shirt on. But I am looking forward to it. I think it's be a good opportunity for us to sort of get settled into a team with, not that to dismiss Falkirk, obviously, they went up to Pittodrie and won, but start building real momentum into the derby, which will be fairly decent.
I suppose we played Falkirk, this time last season in the League Cup?
Yep.
And go beat. So, aye.
Thanks to Liam Boyce. Because we battered Falkirk for the opening 25 minutes. Missed sitter after sitter. Him and Vargas must have had a bet on to see how many chances they could miss. And then we obviously absolutely capitulated and got our wee arses felt. So it'll be interesting to see how we play, because I think it's a good next game. You know, it'll tell you a lot about the group as well. You know, if we go play that game, get another convincing performance, a bit of confidence builder again, then obviously the next game's home game versus Hibs. Was that a 5:45 kickoff or something like that?
Good move for Premier Sports. That's going to be toxic and amazing.
Better than that be raging.
To be honest, even the next 4 games, so we've got that, and then we've got Kelly away, and then it goes to Celtic at Tynecastle. If we want to be anywhere by the end of the season, I think those next 4 games get a bit of momentum before the Celtic game in Tynecastle, and then really test ourselves.
Get a bit of show going on. You love that. You were singing that last night, Alan. I had to tell you to stop singing it.
I was standing up on your bunkers and everything.
It's like a Heineken's in them, mate, and suddenly you will not start singing show. I was like, come on, man. My kids are here.
My God.
Right.
It was mad you had a bouncy cancel as well.
We were doing the bouncy castle as well, wasn't it? That was great. That was great fun. Right, have we got any other comments on YouTube? Anything that we want? Anybody that wants?
No, there's one there with the word Critchley in it that I can't bring to put up on screen, so I won't bother.
Is there a way you can ban words on YouTube? Just ban that one going forward.
I like the fact that he'll be sitting, like I said, 1,000 times.
In reference to your McInnes stuff. So.
Aye. Well, we also remember our chairman also had respect the rivalry as well. Remember?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Dave McGee, it better be Carnage, will be very upset. It better be. The Clips will be sitting right now, absolutely OD'd on fucking gravy and a Yorkshire pudding. He'll be absolutely Sunday roasted out his tits, telling anybody in the Toby Carvery that he used to manage a football team. They'll be like, aye, no bother, mate.
Telling folk he's got this special UEFA badge that nobody else has. And everyone's like, "I fuck off, mate." What is even that?
Choring amber leaf off folk, try to get wee roll-ups outside, and then the smoking filter picking up fag out, try to build a wee enough to roll himself a wee fag.
Can I call him that? What?
I was going to say, I almost made a joke.
Tam.
I better know. We've already done it, and I don't know what.
Tam, we would have actually got away with that if you hadn't said that, idiot.
Right. If there's no one else on YouTube, if there's nothing else to talk about, will we just do quickly predictions for Falkirk?
Go for it.
Yes.
All right, running time. You go first.
3-1. Hearts.
Who's scoring the Falkirk goal?
There's only one man. My best mate. My best
mate. You get your selfie signed, right? I'll get your selfie signed. What's the score?
I'll go with I'll actually go with a clean sheet, and I'll go 3-0.
Nice. Ando?
1-0 Hearts.
Nice. I'm 5-1. Shankland will get the Hearts goal. Row 5. Row 5 section N. Fucking give me all that.
You know, in the director's box for this game, players' lounge after it, and
nah. No, I said it. Well, you went to the game, didn't you? Where he tried to chop Tingry's head off.
What's his name?
Bobby Zamal.
I actually spoke to him about that last night, to be fair. So.
Did he tell you about when he was on the bus home and Gerard called him to the front of the bus and he was like, "Oh, I'm going to get in trouble. I'm going to get in Higweed." And then Gerard had a picture of when he two-footed like an Everton player or something like that. And
it was Gary Naismith.
Aye, that's right. Aye. And he was like, the next time you do it, make sure you do that. So I was like, oh, sick girl. Right, cool. Well, maybe if anything crazy happens, we'll maybe podcast next Sunday. But obviously, we'll have, if there's a Hibs in, they play Rangers at Ibrox, don't they?
They do, yeah.
So, it's not a Rangers podcast, but you reckon they'll sack Russell Martin?
I hope not.
I actually don't think they will for the chat for the day, but I don't see how he comes back fit. It's a bit of a mad situation. Like, if that was a Hearts manager, be calling for blood, and I get why. Did you see him arguing with the Rangers podcast that was in the press room afterwards as well? It's
No,
like,
because I didn't pay attention to it just now. I didn't. You were in the bouncing that yesterday. And your true colours have come out at the end of this podcast. Oh, Jesus.
that's actually why I was down in London for the
For
raising
the
the flags or whatever.
podcast. Painting St George's crosses on everything.
No, that was it.
You got it wrong when you were painting Denmark flags, weren't you? You got it the wrong way around.
Aye, exactly. It took me a minute to get that there, but I said.
Do we think, being serious, do we reckon Rangers chap the door? I know Chris Boyd is making the noises for it. I think if they sack Russell Martin, there's any chance of them coming for them against?
So they're not going to sack Russell Martin. It costs them too much to do it. I know they've got new ownership and like pretty much unlimited bank balance and all that sort of stuff. But it's a project. New ownership are not going to just jump on this carousel of, well, what has been Rangers for the last 4 or 5 years. No, they're not sacking him. They're going to stick with him.
My confidence would be, sorry, Corbett, on your question about McInnes. So I think he's in here for the long run. I don't think it's he wants to do the project, and I can see him come in. I don't think he would take it if he's rejected that offer before when he was at Aberdeen.
He's turned it down already. So
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it either. I did laugh at the boy that they spent £10 million on, or whatever it was. Then he came on, looked like he'd never played football in his own life. Absolutely hilarious. Who is this guy? Somebody's just won a raffle or something.
Does it also end the debate that Miovski is better than Shankland? Because he was absolutely useless yesterday. No?
Well, he got nothing, but he wasn't great. Like, he wasn't great. Right. Hand on where Anders went. He had very violent situation on the toilet, so I don't know if he's ran and had an accident or whatever, but we'll see him. Next week. Right. Thanks to everybody on YouTube. I appreciate it. Genuinely, thanks for staying up this late on a Sunday night. It was a momentous weekend for the Gorgie, so we thought we'd go live because it was probably the best and the right thing to do. We will be back next week. Like I said, if you want 1874 merch, go on our socials. You'll be able to get it. And then
I'll repost the link again now as well.
Cool. Right. Cheers, troops. Boys, I'll see you all next week.
Speak to you all later.
Gorgie rules.